A week ago, a friend messaged me about this new game they'd come across. It seemed interesting, so the next morning I installed it. And when I looked up, 11 hours had passed. Everhood is a game. Do you suffer from photosensitive epilepsy? Do you suck at rhythm games? Or do you have a moral objection to euthanizing the elderly? If you've answered yes to any of the above, then Everhood is probably not the game for you. If no, then please allow me to explain why you should play it. In Everhood, you play as Red, a wooden doll lying in pieces minding your own business. But then a gnome comes and steals your right arm, and thus you awaken from your slumber to extract revenge. Revenge in the form of competitive endurance dance battles. How to do so is explained to you by the local guitar-playing frog. Gameplay is deceptively simple. The game is set out like a guitar fretboard with 5 lanes. You can dodge left and right, and jump if the incoming projectile is not too tall. Combining both a dodge and jump allows you to perform a flip. And that's basically it. If you decide to play D&D with Green Mage, then you gain the ability to deflect as well. But only for the duration of the game. I mean the in-game game, not the game. Nah, you know what I mean. But don't let its relative simplicity fool you. Everhood does not fuck about and has a nicely arranged difficulty curve as the game progresses. That being said, if you are struggling, you can change the difficulty on the fly. There are several options ranging from Dante Must Die to Games Journalist. I played through the game on hard and found that to be a good challenge. The main game, that is, the secret bosses kicked my ass, but we'll get back to that later. Impossible is basically just if you go for the no-hit achievements. Graphically, the game can initially look a little sparse, but once it gets going, it really gets going. The hub worlds may look like something out of RPG Maker, but it's actually running on Unity, and may just be a flex by the developers to show off all the cool particle effects and shaders they could make. Even when the palette becomes more monochrome, there's still a good atmosphere and design. I like it. Although one thing I do have to ask is, why is the game in 3x4? It's CUI plus 6. Who's still using square monitors? I'm genuinely curious. Did I miss a memo or something as to why indie devs are banned from supporting modern resolutions? That being said, everything it may lack for in graphical fidelity, it more than makes up for in music. Every character has a unique theme that their battles are synced to. With a soundtrack this expansive and long, not everything is going to be amazing or to your taste, but what's good here is really good. Although we'll need to get into spoilers before I can talk about some of my favourites. As mentioned before, you play as the doll Red. Freshly dismembered, you now face further humiliation as you are stopped at the first hurdle due to being broke. Luckily, there is a convenient ATM that can be fought for handouts. Once inside, you require a VIP pass. This can be acquired by annoying the locals. In the VIP area is Goldpig, lording over your arm with the gnome. Before you can ask for it back, he chucks you down an incinerator. Ignore the vision of the one-armed spirit, that's not important now. Once you reassemble yourself, Goldpig, your arm, and the gnome's legs are all gone. This allows you to recruit the gnome as you now have a common interest in recovering lost limbs from Goldpig. You can't actually leave him behind? I tried. From here you can explore the worlds as you see fit. There's a few places to go. You've got the carnival, where you can take part in agility courses and kart races. You can go to the forest, where you can play hide and seek with the mushrooms. Or you can go to that place. You know what it is. Green and purple, green and purple, green and purple. Just be careful which door you leave the carnival through. In the forest you can find Green Mage. He's lost his eye, and once you return it, he'll happily move the boulders blocking your path. And by move, I mean turn into a flower pot. Green Mage is great, man's just here to have a good time. I gotta respect that. He even agrees not to fight you as you helped him out. Wait, scratch that, you're fighting anyway. Never mind, he's bored. As you continue to try and leave the forest, your path is hindered again. This time by Professor Orange and his pet troglodyte. Orange is an asshole. He mistreats his servant, and keeps a small child to torture in his basement. He doesn't like doing fights normally, and forces you to run around in real time instead. He has also attempted to artificially recreate God using quantum physics. But due to only buying off-brand batteries to power it, it can only run for about 30 seconds before it shuts down. That other way, you can go to green and purple, green and purple, green and purple. This is Twilight Town. There's lots you can do here. You can trade flower pots for bin lids, feed cake to rocks, fetch Bog Roll for Brown Mage, but more importantly, we can bum in on Green Mage's D&D campaign. In this, you take the role of the noble hero, gifted with the sword that deflects red attacks, which you can use to defeat foes by using your power to deflect red attacks. Now that you've proved you are able to deflect red attacks, you can quest out to defeat the evil red wizard. Just remember to save at the save count. As anyone who's ever played D&D should expect, the adventure is derailed at almost every opportunity by the PCs. Flan, the owner of Flans, Fans and Sands, formerly Marks, starts PKing. Zag complains about world building. You know the drill. Having to fight back by deflecting attacks is a good addition to the pure dodging you've been doing previously, and forces you to think on your feet more. As a reward, you get a broken piece of wood, similar to the one you picked up earlier. Once you get the third from the castle, you can head to the final area, down the long road to the desert. I've tried to keep it decently vague up to here, but we're reaching heavy spoiler territory, so skip to here. Or if the game has interested you, just go get it. It's relatively cheap, especially for the quality of experience you're getting. I'll still be here when you get back. With that out of the way, once you reach Gold Pig's castle and fight through a few zombies, as well as Purple Mage, you can then take on Pig himself. He is a worthy final boss, throwing out almost every sort of attack pattern you've seen so far, as well as dropping hints about the wider world if you're paying attention. With him defeated, Blue gets his legs back, and you can go into the next room to get your arm back. Some cryptic shit is drawn on the walls in blood, and the credits roll. Seriously, if you skip the last warning, serious spoilers from here out. The credits are fake. Welcome to the second half of the game. As the game fades back in, you're greeted by the frog who first taught you how to play, and he explains what's going on if you haven't figured it out yet. Everyone in this world is immortal, and has lived for eons. The exact time isn't known, but from Green Mage's hallway we can safely say that it's in the millions of years. Frog asserts that this is suffering, paramount to torture, a malignant stagnation from which they cannot escape. The reason Goldpig got Blue to steal your arm is that when equipped with both arms, you're the only one who can kill them. This works as a great way to recontextualise fights. That first time round was just training. Now you've got to do it again, but this time, fight them as well. This is done similar to the D&D game you played with Green Mage. If you parry 2 attacks of the same colour, this charges up your own attack, that you can unleash back to damage them. This will go through one standard attack, but tall attacks, or 2 or more, will stop them. Getting hit will also drop any stored charge, so be careful. Power in hand, Frog sends you back to kill the world. I'd recommend making some duplicate saves at this point. Leaving back to the door room, you quickly see that the world doesn't share Frog's philosophy. Twilight Town has been locked down to, stop you murdering them all. Instead, you'll need to return to the first area and backtrack. Every NPC will now have the option to kill them or interact with them. For minor NPCs, you can just straight out kill them. No alcohol, unacceptable. Prepare for death. More important characters you'll need to actually fight. Once you do, the 8 ball that you were given ticks down the number of remaining souls for you to reap. Once you make your way back to the start, Blue will be waiting for you with a secret entrance to Twilight Town, saying that he trusts you, although he may not understand. Going through, your way is blocked by Rasta Beast, swearing to defeat you to protect the others. It's honestly one of the best fights in the game. It's moody, Rasta watching solemnly, clearly upset, and swearing that he will kill you to save the others. You are not his friend, there is no holding back. The music in the stage crescendo as his anger and desperation to preserve that which he holds dear burns to the surface. In another game, he may be the protagonist, but here, he just stands in your way. But, purely by accident, I didn't finish him off in the fight, after which he lays down defeated. However, if you choose to interact with him, he is taken aback that you spared him, and leaves, so that begs the question, do you have to kill anyone after all? Well, this game has multiple save slots for a reason. Upon reloading a save, you can make your way backtracking again, but instead of killing, just interact with people and they'll let you pass. Fighting Rasta Beast again, but without killing him, gets us back to where we were. From here, you can just leave Twilight Town and head for the Mushrooms Forest. Speaking with the Forest Spirit, he greets you not with fear, but with relief, referring to you as Reaper, and explaining that immortality is in fact a curse. He understands how heavy of a burden it is for you to have to play this role. And should you refuse, he hopes for your return someday, stating that he cannot wait another eternity to find peace. Returning through the forest, various spirits turn up, angered by your refusal to embrace your destiny. Once you reach the hub, a new door appears. The game informs you that entering this door will break your destiny, and asks if you truly wish to proceed. Upon climbing to the top of the mountain, Frog awaits you. He pleads with you, explaining that yes, they are afraid, but this is what has to be done, however it may make you feel. He calls you naive, directly you, the player, in that you have lived at most a handful of decades, and cannot possibly comprehend the suffering of eons as an immortal, and once again begs you to save them. As you continue to refuse, his grief turns to anger, and he promises that he'll show you suffering. And then plays the best goddamn song on the OST. Flying above you, playing his way through 8 consecutive guitars, while lambasting your cowardice and refusal to do what has to be done. Eventually, after shredding like a lead Dragon Force guitarist, and a pretty sick organ solo too, he collapses, crying and broken that he was not able to grant his friends the release they need. And, as an act of mercy, the divine spirits grant him rest, and turn their attention to you. Directly telling you that you can come back any time and do what's right. Only death can release them. In case you hadn't realised, this is the bad ending. In a way, it's not even an ending. Yeah, the credits play, but if you attempt to load your save, it will put you back atop the mountain with Frog still dead, basically telling you to go do what must be done. If you can cast your mind back about 6 paragraphs, we can return to where we were. Rasta Beast. This time, we're going to do what's right, even if it may not feel like it at the time. So that means Rasta has to go, as do all the other residents of Twilight Town. The Flower Keeper actually puts up one hell of a fight. Fish less so. Green Mage can be found in his home, or rather underneath it. The walls are covered in tally marks, one for each year he's been alive. There are hundreds in this section alone, and that's not counting the 4th wall. Oh, and did I mention this corridor goes on for 4.5 hours? Luckily for us, Green Mage is sitting quite close by. He doesn't mind his life ending, so long as you show him a good time doing it. So, like many of the others, you refight his earlier patterns, until you bore him. You think that's going to satisfy him? He opens up his secret room of games, and tells you to try again, but this time with feeling. It's clear that he holds no grudge, and instead just wishes to make you earn it. Next is the forest spirit we spared earlier. Then the signpost and vampire from the carnival. The Professor, Grundle, and the tortured child are hiding out in the lab behind more traps than Cube. No one watched Cube. If you need assistance, you can speak to the spirits behind the blue door, and they'll give you a lantern that leads the way if you stand still. Finally, it's on to the castle to round up the stragglers. I'll skip over some here, as I don't want this whole thing to just be a "and then you fight X." You'll then need to hunt down the maze monster. Once it's disposed of, you can follow the pink path to Goldpig. It's the same as before, well, except that the pink spirit that shows up also has both her arms now. All that's left now is Purple Mage. Or so I thought. Your own interface starts to lose its bottle and attempts to stop you. And finally, Purple Mage. This fight is a prime test of your mettle, and I imagine filtered a lot of people on their first playthrough, as every time you get hit, Purple Mage heals. So, if you're the sort that just muddled through the rest of the game taking a lot of hits, you're not going to be damaging him faster than he heals. Only one spirit remains. You return to the spirits, and together, you erase the world by taking out all the doors between them. Thanks, Doc. They draw their power together, telling you to take out the final soul, the very sun in the sky. You race through the universe towards the sun, a thermostat on the side ticking up as you approach the giant wall of plasma. The track also really reminds me of Reynard, or other furry trash I used to listen to as a teenager. Oh, who am I kidding? I still like it. Crank that! After the sun is destroyed, you take on the universe itself, flying across the sky and into what lies beyond. Before you lies everyone that you've killed, but with a promise of reconciliation. Reconciliation in the form of gratuitous Black Note spam. Finally, you are freed from your body. Actually, that's not really right. Pink is freed from Red, and by extension, you. However, she is trapped in the White Plane. But by placing her trust in you, you can lead her out. You find Frog's cabin. Him sitting quietly in this afterplace. He thanked you for what you've done, and shows you the door forward. You descend into the darkness, walking until you start to sink beneath. Struggling grants you insight from the dead until you finally give in. Under the water, you find yourself once again in battle, this time against the very universe and time itself. This song also slapped. The screen shaking and distorting as you chip away at reality. With its end, so too draws the end of the game. But first you are given one last time to connect with the friends you've made along the way, each of them thanking you before moving on. Goodbye, Green Mage, you were truly best mage. A final fight awaits. Well, less of a fight, more of a victory lap. With all your friends saying their goodbyes, and looking optimistically to what comes next. One by one, they fade, till you also, or rather Pink also does. Finally, the game addresses you directly, letting you know that you too will die someday. But you have a long time left, and what you make of it is up to you. Death is not something that has to be feared. Then it unlocks New Game Plus. Upon return to the hub, you'll be greeted by a cat lurking in the darkness. He goes by Sam and offers you a treasure hunt, opening a new door for you to try, as well as now allowing a 3-headed cat statue to spawn sometimes. If it's not there, just leave and enter a door till it shows up. To activate this, you'll need 3 gems. They were mentioned in Brown Mage's notes. First is the Emerald. It's held in the locked chest in the flower shop in Twilight Town. However, you will need a key. The key is acquired by doing a fetch quest for Brown Mage, so you'll need to do this on a save where you haven't killed everyone yet. You can get the bog roll from the trash can in exchange for the lid that the flower keeper is wearing. Next you need batteries from the car in the desert, and finally a stick from the fish. He'll trade you for the hook that's left when you feed the rock cake. Brown Mage will then make you a key and you can use it to open the chest. That was the easy part. Now you have to fight and defeat the light being. If you let him get away, you can find him again at the cinema. Next is the Ruby. For this you'll need to battle the Thin Mushroom. To unlock them, you just need to find all the mushrooms and the spirit will open the way for you. Finally, the Sapphire can be found in the junkyard, reached by using the key in the locked door in the forest. There's no supreme being guarding this one, just some gnomes playing with a skipping rope. With all 3, you can place them into the sockets to fight the devs. It's a spectacle that shows them building the game and working together. I don't actually have anything more to say about this fight, but it took me 4 days, so I'm gonna take your time in search for desperate validation that I didn't waste my time. But I bet you're wondering, what happens if you follow Sam through the door? Well, that's obvious. You fight God. Yes, more. Everhood also includes a custom battle system built right into the game. You can download them from online and then just import them straight into the game. There aren't too many at the moment, but the game hasn't been out that long, and what's here is already starting to show some real quality. Not all, admittedly. But the recreation of Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil, and the Sans fight from Undertale... Oh no, we're doing so well. Well, no avoiding it now. Part 7. Or not. Devalk from the future here, I have removed this section due to it being... hella cringe. I apologise for any inconvenience caused. Part 8. Everhood is a game, and you should play it. A great battle system and future potential for custom battles means it's one I'll probably be coming back to. I even tried my hand at making one myself. I've linked it below. It's a piece of junk, but I'm kind of proud of it. Actually, that could basically describe this entire channel, to be honest. And on the actually non-zero chance that the devs are watching this, let me just say thank you. It's genuinely been quite a long time since I actually got invested in the game story, and I'm very glad I took the time to do so. To everyone else, it's a literal tenner on Steam. That's like 3 Tesco meal deals. Come on, give it a try. If you've watched this far, then thank you. According to YouTube statistics, very few will. Then again, according to YouTube statistics, 101% of my viewers are not subscribed, so I don't really think I can trust them. I've also now made a Twitch channel. God knows if I'll use it, but it's there. I hope to get another video out by the end of the month, as I did miss one for last month. But I also said I'd have the Mass Effect 2 video out by January, so I don't think you can trust me either. Till next time.